Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are just married. And this morning, the people of Britain are living in the afterglow of a wedding that seemed to be about a lot more than just tying the royal knot. Mark Phillips reports our cover story.
If anyone knows how to do this sort of thing, the House of Windsor knows. But this was not your grandfather's royal wedding. This is one that stood astride two worlds and had to satisfy both. First in view was Meghan's world, showbiz royalty. Many of them Americans were among the 600 invited guests. Oprah, Serena, George with his wife Amal, Elton, the stars of Suits, that other show Meghan used to be a part of. But then two princes in military dress uniforms appeared, striding across the Windsor Castle grounds like they owned the place, or one day would. As Harry had done for William, William would be best man for Harry. Already one tradition was being broken. British Army protocol frowns on beards in uniform, but Harry is a prince, and this was his day. The other world was now arriving, the one of tradition and privilege. Harry's father, Prince Charles and Camilla, the Queen and Prince Philip. And about 10 miles away, a vintage limousine was leaving a hotel. Inside, a veiled woman on a date with destiny. Meghan Markle, a mixed-race divorced American, about to marry into the British royal family, alongside her mother, Los Angeles social worker Doria Ragland. Ragland would transfer to another car before getting to the chapel, leaving her daughter alone to provide one of the rituals of royal weddings, the reveal of the dress. The palace called it minimalist, but it took twin 7-year-old page boys to handle the 16-foot-long veil. In the absence of Meghan's father due to illness, her father-in-law-to-be, Prince Charles, escorted her down the aisle. It was seen as a gesture of welcome and inclusion into the royal fold. A lot has changed in the 8 decades since King Edward VIII had to abdicate because he wanted to marry an American divorcee, Wallis Simpson. How much things have changed was evident in the service that brought the two worlds together. Handling the wedding ceremony was Justin Welby,
I am required to
the Archbishop of Canterbury, head of the Church of England, of which the Queen is the supreme governor.
There's power in love. There's power in love.
But handling the sermon was the Most Reverend Michael Curry, head of the Episcopal Church in the United States. He brings an American exuberance to the pulpit that the ancient stones of St. George's Chapel
That's the palm in Gilead.
had probably not witnessed before, nor, it seemed, had some of the guests.
All of God's children.
We spoke to Bishop Curry and Archbishop Welby before the wedding. Their difference in style, they said, might surprise some, but enhance the occasion. Do you see yourself, Bishop Curry, as bringing that kind of style, that kind of American preacher style to this wedding?
I have no idea. I'm just going to show up. We got to get you all married.
Do you see it as inclusive that someone like you from the American Church, the American Episcopal Church, being here in the heart of the Church of England country, does that make any kind of a difference to you?
Well, to be sure, the Church of England is the mother church, and so it's always to be good in Mama's house.
I can't believe you just said that. I really can't believe you just said that. I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Stand by me. Stand by me. Yeah. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
If the congregation needed any more convincing that this was a different kind of royal marriage, the South London Kingdom Choir provided it in the form of Benny King's blues classic, Stand By Me.
Stand by me.
The old Stones of St. George's hadn't heard this sort of thing before either.
I, Harry, take you, Meghan,
I, Meghan, take you, Harry,
The vows were conventional.
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer.
in sickness and in health,
Nobody promises to obey anymore.
till death us do part.
I make this vow.
I make this vow.
So Charles has an in-law he might not have previously expected to have. The House of Windsor has a new asset and perhaps a new sense of relevance. And Britain has now married off the last of Diana's children, a chapter finally closed.
Our dad was